Losing myself and finding my strength, came to the conclusion that I want it all. Feeling that pressure of trying to do better. I want to reach heights, but too scared to fall. Too scared of failure, way more scared of feeling regret from not even trying. That's terrifying. I understand that chasing my goals, I bury my clocks because it take time. I gotta go, I already know. If I want to grow, you reap what you sow. That be the case. Planting my seeds and water my base. Yeah, I made mistakes. Yeah, I know you grow in your garden, but watch for the snakes. The people that act like you crazy for trying to stay far away. They don't think it's possible. I think it's possible. That is just hate. Yeah, they hate themselves because they on the shelf while you create a life that you love. A life that you love. Yeah. Loving the fact you're improving yourself. Decided that you would not settle. Decided that you got the drive to do it. The road got bumping your foot on the pedal. You go up a level. You turn up whenever it's time for you to go put in that work. I know my worth. I know it ain't gonna be easy. Yeah, I know it hurt. One thing is for sure. Yeah. Until they put me in this earth. Before I ride in that hearse. I'm chasing my goals. I'm chasing my goals. Yeah.
Loving the fact you're improving yourself. Decided that you would not settle. Decided that you got the drive to do it. The road got bumping your foot on the pedal. I'm chasing my goals.
All right, and welcome back to another episode. If you are on YouTube, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. If you are on a podcast platform, please be sure to leave me a review. Also, please support your boy by helping me keep this podcast going. You can buy me a cup of coffee. I left a link in the description to make it easy to be able to support me that way. That helps me keep this thing going, and it's much appreciated. But let's go ahead and jump into this. Today we're going to be talking about stress. All about stress, how stress works in your life, what it is, how to handle your stress, and how to manage it. And also the different types of stress. A lot of times we don't realize it, or maybe we don't even know about it, but I know I didn't. But there are different types of stress. And we're going to dive in and talk about all three. And we hear words like anxiety and depression and stress, right? And sometimes we can kind of lump those words together or pair them together. People can throw those words around sometimes. And we're going to dive into it. But first, let's talk about the actual definition of stress. And this is from the American Psychological Association. And it says, and I'm reading, stress is a physiological or psychological response to internal or external stressors. It involves changes affecting nearly every system of the body, influencing how people feel and behave. So stress is a physiological and psychological response to things and situations that upset our personal balance in some way, our personal balance. When you get out of balance, stress happens. And the reason why we have stress is because it's actually natural to the human body. But of course, when it starts to get out of control, or we experience it for long periods of time, then it becomes chronic. And believe it or not, there's also a good type of stress, a positive stress. And we're going to talk about the different types, and I'll talk about exactly how stress can be a good thing and how it's needed. But first, let me say this. If you are waking up and you feel stressed from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, then that's chronic stress. And if you're experiencing that, then you really should go see a doctor. Please go see a doctor. This episode will not help you with that. But if you feel like you have a lot of stress, not chronic stress, if you feel like you stress a lot, we first got to understand that it comes from yourself. It comes from our own selves, from our mindsets, from the way we look at our lives and our circumstances, whatever that may be. And if you feel like you are too stressed, I hate to tell you this, but there has to be some ownership in that. You got to say, okay, this thing got out of control. I'm the one who let it get out of control, and I need to be the one to get it back in control. Because when we face with something, some challenge or some threat, our bodies prepare to respond. And that could be physical, mental, or emotional. Our bodies and our brains tell us, hey, it's time to do something about this thing. Again, stress is the brain. Stress is in the brain, and stress is also in the body. And of course, stress can be triggered by external circumstances, right? If you're laying in bed in the middle of the night and you hear somebody breaking your house, your brain is going to send stress signals to your brain, and you either going to fight, flight, or freeze. Whatever your brain does, it does this for the need to survive. There's going to be some kind of response. Then your heart rate increases, your muscles tighten, your blood pressure rises so blood can get to different parts of your body faster. Your senses get sharper. There's an increase in strength and in stamina. Your brain also processes a whole lot quicker. Things slow down in a sense. And all of this is preparing you for what your response to this stressful situation is going to be. This is what adrenaline is. Your brain produces this in these kind of situations. And I'll never forget the first time I felt adrenaline. I was like 10 years old or somewhere around that age. And we had this Doberman Pinscher when I was growing up. We had it for a few years. And where I'm from, if you got a nice dog, people would steal it. And it was a nice dog. It actually got stole from us twice. And it was a young dog, like 1 year old. And we had just got it, only had it for like 3 weeks, and somebody stole it. And I remember walking home from the wrong bus stop. I got off early to be with my friends, so I was a little further away from home. And in the South, especially in black households, the majority of folks I know who had dogs, especially a big dog like a Doberman Pinscher, people kept their dogs outside. They don't come in the house. And I'm walking home, and I just so happened to see my dog. And I called her name, and she looked right up at me, and I knew, that's our dog. That's our dog. And I ran home fast as I could, and I felt that adrenaline. I never ran that fast in my life. I felt like I was almost flying. I never felt my legs move that fast. The second time I felt adrenaline, I was literally in a fight. I got in a fight, and I was scared, and I was like 13, and I couldn't back down. Very much the toxic male, toxic teenage boy energy. My friends was watching. The boy I was about to fight, he called me out, or he did something to me. I can't even remember for real what it was. But I do remember that adrenaline. And when I tell you, I don't know, or I didn't know, that I can throw punches that fast. I probably hit him like 10 times in 2.5 seconds, literally. And I can't even explain like that feeling. It was like I was moving faster than I ever did. Just like when I was running, it was just effortless. And even my brother, I didn't realize he was watching. I got in the house and he was like, damn, Darius, how many times you hit him? Again, adrenaline. Anyway. And I know though the example I gave of somebody breaking into your house in the middle of the night, that is an extremely stressful situation, right? If you ask most people what they stressed about these days, most of them ain't gonna say, I'm stressed because I got people breaking in my house in the middle of the night. That ain't an everyday stress. Most of our daily stresses come from our minds. Not necessarily the things around us, but inside of us. The way we perceive a situation can determine whether or not it's stressful. Let me say that again. The way we perceive a situation can determine whether or not it's stressful. For example, one of my best friends, he don't like dogs, especially if it's a big dog. He don't mess with them. He's scared of them. Me, I like dogs. I don't have a dog, but I would consider myself a dog person. So if the two of us walk by a big dog, even if this dog is clearly friendly and wagging his tail, it's going to be two different levels of stress for us, two different levels of stress based off our perception, based off our past experiences, based off what dogs mean to us, right? Another example, I experienced this at one of my day gigs. I have a job at the Science Museum of Minnesota, and they have a theater program, and we do short shows, demonstration type shows, usually about science for the museum patrons, the visitors of the museum. And we do this one show about physics and sports. Well, if you know me, if you know the theater industry, let me start there first. If you know the theater industry, the majority of us didn't really grow up playing sports, but I did. I love sports. And there's a few elements of this show that require you to have some hand-eye coordination, maybe catch a ball, maybe hit a ball, throw a ball, and just kind of talk about sports a little bit. And for some people who have no background in sports, they have a different stress level around that show. It will give them anxiety. They will feel like they look silly talking about sports and doing these demonstrations with a bat and a ball and throwing and catching. Stressful for them. I had zero stress. But the other side of it, some people have been dreading or they have dreaded doing it. Exact same situation, right? For me, I like the show. It's fun. For other folks, it's stressful. Another example, one where I'm the one with the stress, is karaoke. If you know me, I don't be doing karaoke. I ain't comfortable doing it. I've done it, but the few times I did, I had to literally force myself to step outside my comfort zone. But other folks, especially other theater people, they don't have a problem with it. They love it. So, all three non-serious examples, but all three demonstrations of how stress can work, how it can look differently to different people, and how it can be caused in our own brains. And stress can manifest in different ways. Through excitement, it can manifest through anxiety, depression, feeling overwhelmed, agitation. But stress is a mechanism that is necessary for the human body. We need it to survive. But the kind in our minds, that's the ones we can start to work towards freeing ourselves from, right? Which is the purpose of this episode. So here we go. So the first one is called eustress, and that's spelled E-U stress, E-U-S-T-R-E-S-S, eustress. The prefix "u" means good. This is the good kind of stress. It can actually be exciting, and it's usually short term, right? For example, like riding a roller coaster. I love roller coasters. Whenever I go to a theme park that I've never been before, I want to ride every one of them, especially the fastest ones, the biggest ones. That's an exciting stress. You feel that feeling, right? That stress as you're going up that first big drop on your way up that roller coaster, right? That is a stress. Another example, first date butterflies and feeling nervous about it. When your crush make you nervous, or the kind of excitement you get to tell somebody some really good news, that's eustress. Like for me, as long as I've been doing theater, I still get a little nervous before every show. Every time, especially on opening nights. Even after we done had a whole 4-week rehearsal process and rehearsing 6 days a week, I still get nervous. But again, it's a good kind of stress. It's because I care. I take it serious, right? It keeps me on my toes. So, the good stress. And this stress, what this stress does is it enhances your motivation, your focus, your energy. It can turn on parts of your brain that make you more creative. You want more eustress in your life. How do we create more good stress? How? Well, one easy way is to step outside your comfort zone, doing new things. And I've been trying to do that as much as I can lately. You feel so much better after you do it. Do something challenging. Push yourself. Setting goals that ain't too easy for you. Now, I ain't saying set goals that are unachievable, but set goals that'll stretch you, but still be something that is actually achievable. Something that's going to get you outside of what's been comfortable for you. And when you achieve it, it's going to feel good. You're going to feel good about yourself. Again, eustress can be very beneficial for us. So that's the good. Let's get to the next one. The next one we're going to talk about is hypostress. And this is the stress of understimulation, too little stimulation. And I was kind of surprised to learn about this one because when you think about stress, you think about being too stimulated, right? Or having some kind of unwanted stimulation. But this one involves lack of stimulation. Situations of not having enough challenges in your life, not enough activities in your life, laying on the couch, watching too much Netflix, right? And this can lead to feeling restless, being really bored, lack of excitement in your life. Is you doing the same thing every day? You wake up, you shower, you eat, you get dressed, you take the same route to work, you do the same things you've been doing for years, you go home, you watch the same TV shows, you go to bed. And that every single day can cause hypostress. You have lack of excitement and stimulation in life. As humans, we want to be comfortable and not pushed, but we need to be challenged. We need to grow. We can't do the same thing all the time. Don't suffer from lack of engagement. No, you need stimulus. You either green and growing or you brown and dying. Let me say it again. You either green and growing or you brown and dying. And unfortunately, hypostress can be hard to recognize, right? Especially if you have never heard of it, like me, because it's subtle. It's from lack, right? This nagging sense of just being dissatisfied with life or restlessness or monotonousness, having long periods of time of inactivity, right? Them days when you watch Netflix so long that Netflix got to check in on you to see if you're still alive. that causes hypostress. And hypostress causes decrease in motivation, decrease in creativity, uneasiness, lack of drive, lack of excitement, a general sense of unhappiness. And on the flip side, it can lead to unhealthy ways of finding excitement, right? Like drugs or adrenaline seeking, going out there and doing crazy stuff just to make yourself feel alive. So do something new, do something challenging, step outside your comfort zone, create a bucket list or plan a trip, get your body moving, work out. I'm gonna say that one again, work out. Try new hobbies, challenge yourself. Okay, moving on. So the next one, which is the one we think of the most, is hyperstress. Hyperstress, too much stress, an overstimulation of stressful feelings. Stress always being there all the time. And that can be from day-to-day life or things in your mind, right? Those moments when you feel that feeling of overwhelm. And a lot of times it can be from things in the future. When you ask somebody why they are stressed, it usually ain't because they stressed in this very moment. It's because they look at all the things they need to do in the future, all the things they got on their plate, and it can be overwhelming. And the way it manifests itself physically is exhaustion, headaches, muscle tension. The way it manifests psychologically, it can lead to anxiety, to being irritable. It can lead to depression, right? This is the most common type of stress. You got deadlines at work. You got things going on at home at the same time causing you stress. You got this bill that you don't have no idea how you're going to pay it. You got that project that's going to take so much out of you. The feeling of getting pulled in a bunch of different directions and not having enough resources within yourself to be able to satisfy it all. And it's never just one thing, right? They always get stacked on top of each other, just one thing after another. And this ain't external. This is in us, right? It's us thinking about all the things we got going on, and it's too much. And a lot of times we get caught up thinking about all the things we need to do in the next few months instead of the things we need to be doing in this moment. Because guess what? Believe it or not, all the things we got to get done over the next few months cannot get done in the next few moments. Yet we put this stress on ourselves as if that statement is true, as if we can really get it all done right now. Does it need to get done? Yes. Will it be hard? Maybe. Probably, since you're stressing about it. But can you get it all done at once? Hell to the no. It's not going to happen all at once. So manage that stress. Write it out. Write out what's stressing you out. Put it on paper and pen and paper, so you can make a plan for it, so you can delegate. And also, breathe. Breath work. It literally helps calm your nervous system down. Deep breaths. Take deep breaths. Then begin your plan so you can plan better. And I know that sounds cliche, but it really does work. It's not cliche. It sends a message to your brain to calm down, to slow your heart rate, right? To slow down your breathing. Deep breaths activate what's called the parasympathetic nervous system, and this directly counteracts that fight, flight, or freeze response. So breathe. And of course, exercise. It does so much for your stress and your mental health. Every one of my workout clients, they all have told me at one time how surprised at how much better they feel mentally. Working out does amazing things for your brain. And shameless plug, but I know a fitness coach that can work some magic for you. Send me an email if you are interested. Take that first step and I'll meet you there, I promise. Also, sleep. Sleep is really important, and drinking water. When dealing with hyperstress, understand that it's usually in our head. So breathe, put it on paper, plan it out, and start chipping away. Understand that you can only do one thing at a time. So that's it. These are the three. Eustress, which is the good kind of stress, hypostress, which comes from lack of stimulation, and hyperstress, which is the most common, which is the overwhelm. And again, don't try to do it all at once. Don't let your brain tell you that lie. So if you're feeling some type of stress, figure out which one it is, where it's coming from, and once you do, now you can be able to attack it better. So that's what I got for y'all today. please support the show. Please support me by buying your boy a cup of coffee. I have left the links in the description to make it easy for you to do that. That helps me keep this thing going. Also, if you like this episode, share it on your social media. Be sure to tag me in it. But let's go ahead and get to this music. And for those of y'all who made it all the way to the end, thank you. But I will give you a treat. I got some brand new music for y'all. I just recorded this song a few days ago. I'm still making some minor tweaks to the mix, but for the most part, it's pretty much done. Like I always say, I always try and do things that you, my little community, that y'all get what I'm doing first. So I want to give y'all this sneak peek, this preview of my latest song that I'm going to be releasing. Not sure exactly when I'm going to be releasing it, but a music video will come along with this song. But let me just give it to y'all. The song is called Flowers. Let's ride out. Like I just put my shirt back on. Like somebody told me to put my shirt back on. I ain't try to flex, but they asked me what I've been working on my story, making sure that when my curtains close, they gon' throw a rose. I invest in flowers. Like I planted houses, I expect my flowers. They gon' give me props for these invested hours. And I've been peeping everything, claiming to keep it 100, but it's counterfeit. But who am I to judge? Cause I've been off my phone, cause I've been low, but I've been climbing up. And I was dropping calls like I need to go hit Verizon up. This that shit I know you can't relate. Keep your foot up on that gas, you got drive like you late. And then that road took a turn and you know you need a break. Been a crash dummy, I ain't scared of nothing, it's my fate. Better get out my lane. Ludacris said it perfect, you better move, bitch, get out my way. I don't care if you vegan, guaranteed you get T-bone today. Make a split decision, I know you don't want this collision. Still putting down my phone, it got way too addictive watching everybody be clones. We all hooked, that's why you can't leave social media alone. I digress, I'm not judging, I'm taking off that road. Yeah, I can take it off, I'm a big dog. Been through the rain, yeah, I shake it off. Yeah, shake it off, take a loss, bounce back, shake it off like a tablecloth. When they see you cooking, they gon' wanna throw some table salt. And if I told you I don't feel nothing, then I would be lying. I'm a Cancer, I process my feelings 1 year at a time. But right now I'm celebrating, taking it one beer at a time. Okay, pass them out, somebody tell Val to pass the shot. Cause I was seeing the world a whole lot different, I feel like an astronaut. When I thought I lost my drive, cause I was parked a while. Yeah, that's a lot, you got weight on your shoulders and you standing tall. That's a squat, that's a spot when they cramp a lot, cap a lot. But you really be doing better when you can laugh a lot. Seen hard days before, played your role and overcame it every time. Yeah, that's the plot. That's the plot. Like I just put my shirt back on. Like somebody told me to put my shirt back on. I ain't try to flex, but they asked me what I've been working on my story, making sure that when my curtains close, they gon' throw a rose. I invest in flowers. Like I planted houses, I expect my flowers.